It's nothing to concern yourselves with. Calm down, have patience, let this play out. I don't use forecasts because you guys don't deserve them, because you use them against me. I know many of you are in Solana, and Solana got nuked.
So Raoul Pal just dropped an update on where he thinks the crypto market is headed. Let's dive into exactly what he just said.
Firstly, the chart that everybody knows about, global M2 in dollars with a 10-week lead over Bitcoin. I wasn't sure whether we were going to have the full sell-off to follow this pattern, or we were going to go sideways over the period. We eventually went sideways first and then had the sell-off. Either way, it's on track exactly as global M2. Yes, there's going to be a period of chop. We're going to be finding the lows around here. Then there's a period of chop, and then we start coming back up the other side. So it's nothing to concern yourselves with. Volatility is part of the game. Without the volatility on the downside, you don't get the 150% returns or more on the upside. So anyway, calm down, have patience, let this play out.
When money supply and liquidity goes up, crypto prices go up. When it goes down, crypto prices fall. So this chart speaks to exactly why this crypto winter is taking so long and why it's been such an absolute pain to hold crypto for the last 3 or so years. This is the entire life cycle of Bitcoin. In black, we see global liquidity, and in pink, we see the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, when liquidity makes a move like this, we get a massive bull market, just like here, just like here. We haven't even seen that yet. So over the last 3+ years, we've just been chopping around. So altcoins can't catch a bid. Nothing can catch a bid because we haven't seen a massive move in global money supply yet. That's the only reason crypto is staying where it is. And in the very short term, according to Raoul Pal's chart, global money supply is dipping. And it looks like it's going to continue to stay low for a few more weeks or months. And so that is exactly why crypto is falling. And guess what? Elon Musk, Trump allies, say his tariff plans could cause short-term pain for consumers. So they're expecting short-term pain. In the first 6 or so months of Trump's presidency, they want to get all the pain out of the way so that they can start a massive bull run going forward and into the midterm elections.
Solana, I know many of you are in Solana, and Solana got nuked because of the collapse of the meme coin economy. Now, I think Solana, as you know, is a very broad, deep protocol. There is a lot of activity that goes on. There will be other activity that replaces memes. Some memes will come back to life. It is not what people are saying. It's a scam coin. It's a dead coin. It's all nonsense. But Solana has overshot versus global M2. And that is this last leg of the cycle. So Solana is looking very cheap. So that's interesting. Again, you should be thinking about the dips. Solana should outperform Bitcoin for the rest of this cycle, and Ethereum too, with SUI outperforming Solana.
So what he's pointing to is that Solana is getting hit by this as well. All crypto assets are correlated to money supply. Over the last month, Chainlink plummeting, just like Solana, right? It's all perfectly correlated. Over the last month, Internet Computer also plummeting. And obviously, TAO nosediving as well over the last month. So this is exactly what we're seeing, a coordinated effort to restrict liquidity, stop the debasement of the dollar, stop money printing, cause all assets to crash, because what goes down when assets crash? Interest rates. Interest rates are the oxygen of the financial system. Once interest rates come down, capital gets cheaper, mortgage rates get cheaper. They can finally print money without causing massive inflation, which causes interest rates to go higher, right? So they're really trying to just nuke the financial system, nuke liquidity, get all the pain out of the way, cause rates to finally come down, destroy inflation once and for all. And once they do that, it sets the stage for a massive rally and an increase in global liquidity.
The other thing that drives all of this is the business cycle. See, the business cycle is driven by financial conditions, liquidity, all of those things. But this is how businesses do when financial conditions get easier. The ISM survey above 50 shows the economy is starting to grow, and regular businesses expanding also drive Bitcoin. So Bitcoin goes up as the ISM goes up. Now, again, I don't use forecasts because you guys don't deserve them, because you use them against me and say, well, you predicted that. I'm not predicting. What we're trying to do is give you contextualization of how the market can evolve so you can play along from home. Rising ISM will be good for your bags. It may still be choppy because we're still coming through. We need rates to go lower. But as that happens, we will see this pick up. When that starts coming above 50, what happens is altcoins tend to outperform. Now, there's all this bullshit online. There's going to be no altcoin season. It's never going to happen. It's only a Bitcoin only season. It's all about the ETFs, blah, 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 blah. Simply, probably not true. Again, we deal in a world of probabilities and no certainties, but probabilistically speaking, as the business cycle accelerates, people go further out the risk curve because they have more money. So altcoins should outperform in the next phase once we get out of this corrective phase.
So what he's pointing to again is how correlated Bitcoin and crypto are to the macro cycle. So ISM, that's a measure of manufacturing activity in the economy. And Bitcoin is almost perfectly correlated to it. So when that rises, Bitcoin goes up. Look at what's been happening for the last few months. Well, altcoins as a percent of Bitcoin's total market cap year over year are also a bet on the ISM. So literally all we're doing is betting that the ISM will go up. And what this chart proves is how horrendously altcoins have behaved. Why have they behaved horrendously? Because the ISM has done this. It's taken a long time to get out of the terrible economy we've been in. So why does the ICP chart look terrible? Because altcoins as a percent of Bitcoin's total market cap year over year also looks terrible. Why does that look terrible? Because ISM looks absolutely terrible. So it all makes sense. It's not like crypto is falling for any reason other than the fact that ISM is falling, right? So it's literally a waiting game. This explains exactly why these assets have not pumped. It explains exactly why the chart of Bittensor has stayed flat to down. It explains exactly why Chainlink has not made an all-time high. And again, it explains exactly why the chart of ICP looks so terrible. It's so obvious, right? So we're all perfectly tied to the ISM. So what he's saying is once the ISM turns around like it always does, Bitcoin is headed for $300,000.
We don't yet have a full handle on how high the ISM will go this cycle, but if it goes above 60, I mean, those are high prices in Bitcoin. That's above 300,000, maybe even higher.
Now, what happens to the big three undiscovered assets when Bitcoin hits 300K? I've showed you this before, but the last time we had any increase in liquidity, any new money pour into the space was literally October 2023. That was the last huge move of liquidity into these assets. So on October 2023, the price of Bitcoin was 28K. By May 2024, the price of Bitcoin was 70K. That's a 2.5x move. In the same period that Bitcoin made that move, that a massive amount of liquidity rushed into the space, TAO went from $50 to $700. So it did more than a 10x. And Chainlink went from $10 up to $30. So it did a 3x. ICP in that time went from $3 up to $19. That was a 6x. If you believe that at some point the business cycle will turn around, the ISM will tick up, then you have to believe that these altcoins, these three altcoins that massively outperformed Bitcoin at the end of 2023 are going to massively outperform Bitcoin again if it heads towards 300K, which it will do if ISM goes up. It's just so clear, so obvious. So he's literally telling people to either buy the dip, invest responsibly, but don't panic sell your assets. Now, the best part of being an early stage investor in revolutionary technology is we get to be in these assets before they're discovered by anyone else. So for example, this is Jamie Coots, who works for Raoul Pal. Jamie Coots is the chief crypto analyst at Real Vision, which is Raoul Pal's company. This is what he said. The internet computer, ICP, is a forgotten layer one that launched disastrously with low float / high fully diluted valuation in 2021. Daily active addresses are under 10K, but it's now in the top 10 for fees. Even more curious is the fact fees have only declined 11% during the market sell-off. So here's Internet Computer, top 10 asset, beating Ton, beating Sui, beating Optimism, beating Arbitrum, beating Polygon, beating Avalanche, beating Near, beating Cardano, beating almost every layer one asset on the planet. So he's wondering why. The person who works for Raoul Pal is wondering why ICP is massively crushing almost every layer one blockchain on the planet. So I explained to him, ICP is a world computer, not a traditional blockchain. So the network gets paid for all the compute and data storage as well as blockchain transactions. Most blockchains outsource that to big tech, but ICP is a full tech stack that generates way more revenue per user than trad blockchains like Solana. It is the best economics, and this is why it went deflationary in 2024 several times. And he responded, appreciate that context. So Raoul Pal's team is just starting to wake up to these undiscovered assets. We talk about how massive Chainlink is all the time. We talk about how massive TAO is all the time. If you understand how revolutionary these three assets are, and you understand how undiscovered they are, you understand the potential, right? All we're doing is betting on ISM to go up. A very simple bet. It hasn't moved in the last few years. That's why your bags haven't pumped. But once ISM goes up, these high quality assets, which are totally undiscovered clearly, are going to massively outperform. But hey, maybe Raoul Pal is going to wake up to these assets, and we're already starting to see his team do that.